Hello everybody, my name is Tommy and today we will be learning how to make Bendy. Careful when you're playing with ink. Okay, let's get started.
To make the head, scrunch newspaper into a ball. To make the body, scrunch newspaper into an egg. To make the shoes, scrunch 2 newspaper eggs and make sure the bottom is flat. Then crumble a tiny newspaper ball and put it on top of the flattened egg. Mix 1 part water, 1 part white glue, paste it onto the newspaper, cover it up in toilet or tissue paper, and then paste on another layer of glue. Take an old pair of gloves, cut off the bottom sleeve, and cut off the end pinky. Stuff it with newspaper and cover it up with tissue paper or toilet paper and glue. Now that all the other parts are dry, I'm just going to take the time to carve and smooth them. When the head is dry, crumble newspaper into the shape of horns and attach them to the top of the head. Cover them up with tissue paper, toilet paper, and glue afterwards. Use masking tape to keep them into place. If you want the shoes to look really nice, trace around it with cardboard and a Sharpie, cut it out and glue the cardboard cutout on the bottom of the shoes. This will make really nice looking soles. You can make a nice looking heel by putting half a cardboard cutout at the end, like so. Now the hands are dry, I'm going to cover up the other side. Adjust the horns. Now you'll need 6 thin strips of cardboard. Roll them into shapes of sausages and cover them in tissue, toilet paper, and glue. Use masking tape to hold them together. I'm making 8 of these because I'd like a couple spare parts. Time for more smoothing. Now Bendy has a bow tie. I'm going to show you how you can make the bow tie drooping. Once you've drawn the bow tie, cut it out. And now use tissue paper to detail the bow tie, like so. However, I'm going to be using a different kind of bow tie, a nice straight one. This is how you make a nice straight one. And now, time for more smoothing.
Okay, everybody, so you should have all the pieces right here. You've got Bendy's head. I've got the hands here. I've got the hands for the head here. This is the body. And then these are the legs and the arms. You should have 8 of these. I've shown you how to make the droopy bow tie, because I know that's what Bendy has, but I decided to use the straight bow tie because I think it looks nicer. And then of course the shoes. Now if you don't want to use chain, that's fine. You could try using like pipe cleaners. They won't last very long and it's not as durable, but you know, it'll work. So you just take a piece of pipe cleaner right here. I'm just going to show you guys how you can do it without power tools, because doing it with power tools is a little more dangerous. But I will show you guys right now. Hold it down here. There, this is the safest way to make a hole. And just stab right through it, just like that. See? You add some hot glue there. And this is your pipe cleaner loop. Just remember, the safest way to do it is like this. So that way your hand is well out of the way, you're not going to stab yourself, you have much better control. And just push. There you go. I want to take this, thread it through. Just make sure that the glue on here is completely cooled off, otherwise you may burn yourself. There you go. And that is how you connect the parts together with pipe cleaner. So I showed you that. But I want to do everything with heavy duty chain because I want this marionette to last. I want it to look nice. But pipe cleaner will definitely work. It can definitely look nice. I would advise that you use black. They kind of look like nunchucks. We now have 2 marionette hands. This is what you should have. We've just made the arms and the legs. So now all we need to do is attach it to the body. So if this is what you would do if you want to make Bendy really tall. However, Bendy's actually got short legs and long arms. So I'm actually going to use I'm going to pull these tops off and just have it like this for the legs. That's what I'm going to do.
To make the eyes, draw a Pac-Man on a sheet of cardboard and cut it right out. And just like that, you have Pac-Man. Now you're going to want to cut right where I am drawing right now. Now that you have one eye, trace over it on a sheet of cardboard and cut it out. Now glue the eyes onto the head and cover them with toilet tissue paper. And now with a Sharpie, draw where you want Bendy's smile to be. Then, with a razor, cut it and push the smile in just slightly and glue it into place. Be careful when using a knife, always cut away from yourself. They are very sharp. That's it. Now we are ready to paint Bendy, and then we'll glue the bow tie on. If you want to add a tail to Bendy, draw a cardboard arrow and cut it out. Cover it in just one layer of toilet paper. Wrap 4 strands of black pipe cleaner together and then insert it into the end of the arrow. Use hot glue to hold it into place. Now it is time to glue on the bow tie.
Okay everybody, I am outside right now, so I don't need a special fume apparatus. I'm going to be putting the gloss on Bendy, and then we will put the strings on. So let's gloss them.
And now it is time to add the strings. First, I'm going to make the stick. Attach 2 sticks together, like so. Drill a hole in the center of the stick. Then you'll want another hole on each side of the stick. When you're finished drilling the hole, you should have something that looks like this. Now I'm just going to trim off the excess. Put a string in the center of the stick. Tie a knot to keep it in place. Now, burn off the end of the string. Remember, matches are very hot and can cause a fire. Get an adult help if you are very young. Attach the string to the head. Now cut string twice as long, fold it into a loop, and place the loop through the hole and tie it off. Place one end of the string onto the hand and attach the other end of the string to the foot. Repeat the same process for the other side.
I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, everybody. I know I sure enjoyed making Bendy. I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now go make yourself a puppet friend.